Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Whalenerds podcast. This is episode number 44, and I'm here with Eric and Katlyn.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
And we also have a special guest this time. Our friend Amber's here.
Hey, guys. Eric's tired and delirious. It's okay.
I'm not that tired.
Well, first off, we should tell them where I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm here with Amber and Katlyn in Maui. And it's 8:18 here. And what time is it with you?
I'm here back in Monterey, California. It is 10:19.
Well, why are you 1 minute? Oh, it just changed. Don't be trying to be a minute ahead of us.
No,
2
because
hours and a minute?
we're 2 hours and
behind
1
us?
minute. Yeah,
2
2
hours
hours and
behind
1 minute
us?
ahead of you.
You know
I'm in the future.
5-minute time zones in like India.
What?
Yeah, it's getting too confusing now.
I'll show you.
Let me tell you guys something. We all saw whales. Well, we all saw whales today together.
Together?
I'm sorry you couldn't come.
I don't miss you, but she does.
I
That's
miss
a mess.
Eric.
I see you like in Monterey.
I know. But
Haven't
No.
seen him in 2
I
months.
was gonna say you guys go look at salamanders together or what?
No, he didn't take me.
because you're never here. And you
Oh,
don't even tell me where you are. I like go on my phone and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm Slater. I'm in Maui. I was like, what the hell?
No, I told you.
Dude, I watched Moana and then I bought a plane ticket.
Oh, God. I watched Lilo and Stitch and then, yeah. I think-
Shameless.
All right, so today we saw. So I went on 2 trips today. I went this morning and we just had like 10 humpbacks, but it was a couple just like pairs that were really like they looked like they were sleepy time, just kind of hanging out at the surface. And then she saw a bunch of blows in the distance, but there was a bunch of boats over there as well. And we ended up coming across a comp pod, which was really cool, like 5 or 6 whales chasing around a female.
Really? Did they beat each other up?
Yeah, it looked like it. It wasn't. It honestly, like it was at the very end of our first trip, so we didn't get like a crazy look at it. But then I went back home and picked up Amber and Katlyn, and we went out again, and we saw a bunch of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a
How long
break.
who'd you go out with?
We went out with Ultimate Whale Watch and Snorkel.
Oh, cool. How long are their trips per trip?
2 hours.
I think pretty much everyone's are 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah. There's a couple, like, Pack Whale does a 3-hour because it has, like, food service, but I think most people's are 2 hours out here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whales are close enough.
Oh, nice. So traveling is not a huge issue over there, huh?
No.
No. Well, okay, an hour. It's like every morning I've been driving an hour to go see the whales. Or only this morning is my first morning. But like it seems like seriously 25 minutes. It's so pretty, you know, and you're like looking at whales blowing off into the distance anyways.
He's not really looking at the road.
I'm definitely not looking at the road. There's palm trees
That's
and
why Katlyn
freaking
drives.
blue ocean.
I think I'll drive today.
Yeah, Katlyn was driving so I could just be distracted as hell.
Uh-huh. And the how many, like, it's obviously just the beginning of the season, right? Are you guys expecting a lot more Hawaiian humpbacks?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's been whales, like, every day, though, the last, like, at least week. But it's, like, onesies, twosies, and then, like, there's been 2 or 3 comp pods in the last week, but nothing, like, crazy yet.
So I'm planning on being there the first week of February. Will the whales still be there when I
No.
get there?
No, they will not.
Wait, are you coming when Kate's coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna try for
I
the
should
same
come
time.
then.
That's
Oh,
the
wait,
first
is it-
week.
Oh. Maybe I'll come. I was trying to come back like the end of February. But maybe I'll do.
No, beginning of February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so we have Amber here, and she just started working with Pacific Whale Foundation as well as with Katlyn.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to have you talk about your thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, this is Amber's first boat job, like, on the boat. So
Yeah, actually working on it.
it'll be interesting to hear her, like, transition from the office in Monterey to now moving to Maui and being on the boat.
Yeah, so she originally worked with all of us at Discovery Whale Watch in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mainly she worked with Katlyn because her and Katlyn worked in the office. But now her and Katlyn bossed out and moved to Maui.
Yeah.
I'll let you go for it.
So what?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is I don't know. How was your first experience on the water here? You think?
So I mean, I volunteered and went on the boat a bit in Monterey as well, and I've got to say, being on a boat versus being in the shop is far better.
Yeah, you know I was so cranky.
Yes, yeah, I totally get it. It's great. Yeah, we're doing a lot of snorkeling as well, so it's cool to get in the water every day, and we're starting to see whales more and more. And yeah, it's amazing. I love being on a boat in the ocean instead of in four walls.
How did you get the job? I know a lot of people listening here are people who want to get into the field and stuff like that. Like, what was your?
You just ask. You just be like, can I have a job, and then they give it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it really that easy? I know there are some. Yeah, there are some pretty neat stories about people in our field who just like literally sent an email, and next thing you know, they're working for like someone big time and stuff like that.
Yeah, I graduated from CSU Monterey Bay with a marine science degree, and then Katlyn actually hired me at Discovery in the shop there, and I mean, just hanging out with a bunch of whale nerds, I learned quite a bit, and I just took a shot in the dark applying for pack whale, and I got it. It was like 100 applicants, and they only hired like 12 of us.
Tell them about you applied for purser, and then they offered you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I applied to be a purser there because I didn't think that I had enough experience to be a naturalist. But my manager reached out and she was asking if she could upgrade my application to a naturalist instead of a purser.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, man, let's go for it. Of course.
What's the purser? Is it the person that
do?
Yeah, do they take care of purses?
Crazy.
Yeah, so pursers on our boat, we have like barbecue lunches and dinners and bars and stuff like that. So basically they're cooking food and making drinks.
So they're like a galley cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you don't take care of purses or anything like that.
Usually,
I mean, maybe.
You could bring your own purse to the job.
There's no job too small, let me tell you. So
Why
if
does
it's
Amber...
a lady's purse or a man's purse, you're gonna hold the purse.
Why does Amber look so much darker?
Dude, yeah, they're so tan. It's crazy.
Yeah, you guys look tanner.
Dude, yeah, Monterey makes you white. It's crazy.
Did I tell you guys what the lifeguard trainer said to us? Or said to me? She looked at me and she's like, honey, where did you move from? And I was like, Monterey, California. She's like, you've got really fair skin.
The funny thing is I feel like you would assume that you guys moved from Alaska. When people have very fair skin, you think like Alaska, Canada, or like up north somewhere where it's cold.
Yeah, but Monterey's cold.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is I just turned off my heater and you guys just turned down your fan, so it's like opposite.
Yeah, we turned down the fan just so you couldn't hear it, but it's still really hot in here.
Yeah, and I turned off my heater because it's cold here and I couldn't hear you guys. Yeah, so it shows you the opposite worlds we live in now. Hey, so have you guys, especially Katlyn, Slater, now that you guys have experienced Hawaiian humpbacks, obviously it's not feeding anymore, but they're trying to make baby humpback whales. What's the other major differences over there with the humpbacks? Bigger, smaller?
Wait, in Maui versus Monterey?
Yeah, obviously I know up to the different things, but what else do you know is different about those humpbacks?
I mean, the size thing is kind of irrelevant because, like, the juveniles show up first, so there's not a lot of big adults yet.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say smaller numbers for body size here, and
really?
I don't know if that's just because, like, the information sharing on the island is that way, or if, like, their photogrammetrics are really showing that, or what.
Mm-hmm.
But the juveniles always show up first, so when they first arrive, you're kind of getting a skewed view because it's little whales hanging around. But they're less predictable with their dive times here because they don't have a tack. So, like, sometimes they'll dive for, like, 19 minutes, and you're like, wow, this is
really
a tough thing to narrate. And then sometimes they don't dive the whole flipping time they're up. Like, they just stay up for, like, 45 minutes just at the surface. And you're like, okay, cool. Like, great.
Well, also in terms of what they look like, their flukes are so white here.
Yeah.
A lot more white.
Yeah.
Do they still snack over there every now and then? You guys catch them feeding at all? Does everyone ever seen that before over there?
I don't think so, but we don't really get schooling fish in their, like, prey range.
Really? Okay.
Like we'll get bigger schooling fish, and then we get like reef fish.
Unless they like flying fish.
Or flying fish.
I don't think they can catch those.
Yeah.
What's funny is though, think about like gray whales. They migrate, but they like we say, oh, they don't feed on their migration, but they do. Like we've seen so many different areas. Like they feed up. Yeah, they stop and snack all the time in Newport, off Laguna, Dana Point, Oregon.
But there's food
inside the harbor. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, but I think they do it in Magdalena Bay. They were bringing mud up for sure.
Yeah. Well, so in Baja this last year, they said they were scooping mud, but there's nothing in it. So they were like trying to feed because they were starving, and they just were not getting anything out of it.
Really?
But I mean, I'm sure if there's small schooling fish here, heck yeah, why wouldn't you eat it? But I just don't think they run across it.
Okay. Yeah. Just like here, late in the season, like right before you guys left, I mean, we already had competitive behavior. I'm just wondering over there if you guys just happened to catch like them at the right time, or it just happened to be a school of fish here. I'll take a bite of this.
I mean, I know in Australia they see that. Like there's an area where they're like Harvey Bay, they're like breeding, but then as they come back down around the coast, they're feeding on their before they head to Antarctica.
How were the dolphins today? You guys saw spinners?
Very good.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
Did they spin?
Dude,
oh yeah,
they did.
They spun 2 feet from our head.
They splashed the boat.
Like soaked. One of them soaked like the whole bow of the boat.
Like it landed right next to the bow, and the water all washed in.
He did it on the left side, and then he went right under and did it on the right side.
How big are they?
Like commons, I think like 6 to 8 feet.
Yeah.
Nice.
200 pounds, something like that.
Are they
What?
Are they there year round?
Yeah.
There was they said they see them more off of Lanai than they do like close to Maui. They're usually further off. That's what they were telling us.
There's a group down by where we live. So down in La Perouse Bay, which is like just down the road from our house, there's a group that's there often. They have like little bays they like to sleep in. But on the Lahaina side, they're over across the channel usually. Mm-hmm. But we have a little group over here too. We just don't go there on the whale watch. Sometimes we go there between snorkel sites though on the long trips.
So what other cetaceans have you seen so far? Humpbacks, bottlenose, right?
Yeah, we had bottlenose yesterday.
Is this, Amber, is this the first time you've seen spinner dolphins?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because your first time in Maui.
Yeah, that's what I was mostly excited about, and I'm excited to see the calves, too. But first time seeing spinners was on a snorkel trip, and I lost my mind.
You weren't in the water?
No, that'd be awesome.
I know it happens every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Wait, so what other have you, so far you guys have seen humpbacks and spinner dolphins?
And bottlenose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we saw 3 the other day?
Yeah, yesterday we had.
Yesterday.
And so are those Indo-Pacific bottlenose? Oh, we asked that on the last podcast.
I don't know.
In Fiji, they're Indo-Pacific.
I think they're Terciops truncata. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, whatever that word means. Triceratops. Okay.
I'll have to look. I forgot to look it up. I'm sorry.
What was the other thing? Oh, have you seen? And you haven't seen rough-toothed dolphins yet.
But spotted dolphins are the next most likely.
But you think you'll see them?
Yeah, I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Whoa, Eric's breaking out a whale book.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, do you have a newer book? I didn't bring any because they're heavy.
This one's a pretty old edition. I have the other ones in the Jeep, but I only have this one in front of me right now. Let me look up Terciops in your area.
Which one is that? The Iroquois one?
No, this is the Shirai Jarrett one.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I like it.
Robin's promoting his new book, Whales and Dolphins of Hawaii, at the conference in Barcelona.
Yeah, I saw them post that.
One ask person.
All
right, so Amber's been working on the boat. How many times have you been out on the water here?
Ooh, it's been, I don't know, a couple weeks at this point. Almost every day.
10 or 12 trips.
Yeah.
And are you guys, because I know you guys are doing snorkeling and whale watching. So so how many whale watches have you done?
Only 2 trips so far. The first trip we didn't see anything, and then the next one, they were diving for like 25 minutes. Yeah, they were clocking in at 25 minutes, just killing us.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And then you've been doing a lot of snorkeling. What is that? Like, what do you do on working on the snorkel trip? What is like the main thing you guys do?
Yeah, we do see whales on the snorkel trip though fairly often as well. So the majority of the whales I've seen out here are on the snorkel trips. But basically we're just lifeguarding. People panic when they hit the water every single time. So we're just trying to minimize that and trying to find turtles too. There's lots of turtles around.
I like turtles.
Yeah. Have you seen any? Oh yeah, Slater, we saw some yesterday.
So yesterday, Eric, we went to Amber and Katlyn and I, we went to a talk on deep coral reefs.
Uh-huh.
Do you know anything about deep coral?
Deep coral? I know some deep corals are literally some of the oldest organisms on the planet.
How do you know that before I was going to tell you that?
Because I'm a marine biologist.
Dude, yeah, right. I'm a marine biologist. Don't quote that. I was kidding. It's going to come out. It's going to be like on the newspaper. Like, Slater Moore says he's a marine biologist. I'm not. I don't have a degree. So, yeah, one of the coral, what was the name of that coral?
The black coral.
Was it the black one? Yeah. 4,000 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's before, like, BC and AB and all those things.
Even here in Monterey.
Jesus.
Oh, God. Even over here in over at Davidson Seamount, supposedly there's something that is pretty old too.
Yeah.
Not exactly what, but there's some old stuff about it.
They had it mapped on the map, and then they had some in Cordell Bank, and then what was the bank above Cordell Bank? That's over. It was
something.
Bodega Bay or Bodega Bank or something. It was they were both off kind of like off Point Reyes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so is there Katlyn, you probably know this. You guys have like ACS, like you guys obviously went to a talk. Is it is there like lectures and stuff like over here, like a good whale nerd community?
That was from the sanctuary office. So the Hawaiian Islands Humpback Whale National Marine Sanctuary office is down the street from our house, like between work and our house. So they have lectures like at least once a week.
Yeah.
Like they have a turtle talk like a couple times a week in the middle of the day for people because like the turtles hang out in the historic fish pond out front.
Right behind it.
And then like we went to Ed Lyman. Ed Lyman did a disentanglement talk that like all the PWF employees got paid to go to, and then the coral talk was there. One. Yeah. Ed gave a really good talk. Oh, and Mark Lammer, who's like a sanctuary scientist too, gave like a population sighting rate talk because there's a lot of concerns about. Stop. There's a lot of concerns about the numbers being low in Maui County the last few years, but it looks like there's a little bit of an uptick at the end of last year. So, but yeah, there's talks there. There's not really an ACS. The ACS members that are in Hawaii are the Student Coalition members on Big Island.
I'm surprised there's no ACS over there.
But I went on that website, the Humpback Whale found, what is it? Humpback Whale.
Hawaiian Islands Humpback Whale National Marine Sanctuary.
Yeah, I was on that website and there was tons of talks. Like the coral one is only like third on the list. Like there's a lot more coming up.
But are they regarding whales, or is it
I think
a
it's just
different other topics?
There was some whale ones. It was just ocean related topics.
Yeah, there's I think just because there's quite a transient population on Maui, it's hard to like get an engaged membership.
Oh, really? A lot of like what, snowbirds and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Did you happen to go to the White Shark Cafe talk?
Yeah, it was pretty informative, and technically, yeah, the White Shark Cafe, even though they say the word cafe is still kind of a mystery, but they are still kind of more leaning towards, they haven't written it off yet, but there's more evidence that it's more of a feeding ground than a breeding ground because of certain types of data they've been collecting. They've always assumed it's the middle of nowhere, but it looks like it has decent upwelling. There's a good amount of squid out there, and there's a good amount of big-eyed tuna out there. So there's food out there, and yeah, I mean they're not positive yet, but some evidence leads to it to be more of a feeding ground than a breeding ground, and it looks like even some of those Guadalupe sharks are heading over there too. It's not just our sharks here in California.
Dude, they're having a party out there. So wait, why did they call if they're saying it's a breeding ground. I guess it's not a calving ground. It's because I mean,
No.
because they lay the eggs on the like on things. So.
No, they live pup
White
Oh,
sharks.
white
in
sharks.
Mexico.
Yeah, I guess it's white sharks.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
In
It's not. There's
Mexico?
not a bunch of
Yeah.
sharks.
Yeah,
we
so
don't
it's
think
still-
they actually breed yet.
Mm-mm. Right, because they pup
So,
in like
yeah.
Guadalupe, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. We didn't really talk much about the exact pupping grounds, but
I
if
saw
you
that on
really,
a documentary.
Yeah.
And then as they get older, they slowly make their way up the coast, and then when they get like full grown, they'll go in the colder waters.
Yeah, that's
but-
why like Channel Islands used to be the nursery area, and then they're like still kind of scratching their heads over this Aptos thing.
Yeah, but I mean, the little ones. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I know sharks can travel a great distance. Obviously, seeing these more mature animals go to the White Shark Cafe, but the younger ones, I'm not sure if they're capable of it or even have the body weight, and liver and mass to travel that far.
I don't think they do. I think
Yeah,
only the really big adults do.
I have a feeling that obviously the pupping grounds are probably a lot closer to shore because they need that warmer water too.
Yeah. I feel like, well, and the sharks that they tag for their work are out at the Farallones and out at Año Nuevo. And so, like, that's pretty exposed open cold water. So that's, like, big adult sharks that they're, like, putting tags on that go to the cafe.
And the return rate of the tags, I was really surprised. They literally knew where this White Shark Cafe was. And they drew a box around it. And, like, there were so many tags that actually came back. I want to say it was, like, 13 or 18 tags recovered from, like, was it 40 animals tagged? It's pretty amazing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. But it was interesting, even the tag retrieval, because once, the tag comes up to the surface, it, gives a little signal, and it's this little tiny thing, probably about yay big, about a little bit less than a foot long. And they're on this huge 200-foot research boat, and they're looking for this, and they mark it.
In the water.
Yeah, and since it's dark, they literally take an orange and like throw it at it because orange is obviously the actual orange, the fruit. They throw that at it because it's easier to keep track of, Yeah.
And it's not as bad of a marine debris if you're throwing a floating fruit instead of like a
Biodegradable.
buoy or something.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting talk. In fact, a lot of the things they brought up is still like unpublished, so it was pretty interesting, Yeah.
So Amber has been doing a lot of snorkeling. Eric likes fish.
Uh-huh.
What I know you haven't seen these sharks yet. You were telling me that today. What do you know any of the fish you've seen? The name of the fish you've seen so far?
Yeah, lots of butterfly fish. I've seen a few moray eels so far, which is pretty cool. Yeah. The state fish, huma huma nuku nuku apua'a. Is that it?
Apua'a.
Wow.
Apua'a.
I think I saw that on
Close.
a sign.
Yeah.
We'll get you a sticker. Yeah, Eric, you would love it out here. I need you to come out here and give me all of your expertise.
Yeah, I haven't been out there since I was a little kid, but yeah, February I'll do my best. But yeah, fish are great over there. The state fish, common name, a lot of people call it here Picasso trigger.
Yeah.
Isn't it a wedge tail?
Or reef.
Yeah.
My most common name I see it referred to as Picasso trigger. There is one that looks very, very, very similar to it.
That's a lagoon
common name of it.
triggerfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the parrotfish though, because they eat the coral and poop out sand. What's it like? They poop out a ton of sand every year.
Yeah, we were at this like bird sanctuary thing by the harbor, and it said one fish can produce 1 ton of sand a year.
Yeah, because
I
all
want to
those.
know where that fact came from, because that's intense.
Yeah.
That's
Those
not a very
teeth
big
they
fish.
have.
To make 2,000 pounds of sand.
Yeah.
Those things are chomping away though.
Yeah, the teeth they have, they just chomp around coral, scraping off all that algae and stuff. Yeah.
You guys see the needlefish? Have you seen those?
Yeah.
They're all over
We've seen a few of them.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of them in the harbor today.
They're crazy.
Yeah, those are everywhere. I used to see old guys like walk in the shallows and literally just take a stick and like whack at the surface, and then they just knock out the needlefish and take them to eat.
Jeez.
Lahaina Harbor, when I was a little kid, yeah, there's a lot of mullet there, and I used to use my lunch to catch them, like pizza crust, and just fish in the harbor.
We have a lot of mullet in Maui too.
Yeah.
They're still there. That's good.
They're kind of a grayish color.
They
Yeah.
like to jump.
Grayish silver, yeah.
Yeah.
We also saw lots of flying fish.
Oh, nice. I missed that.
They're pretty small here compared to Monterey.
Although yesterday we did see big ones.
Yeah, that's true. That was the biggest one we have seen so far.
More like California size.
The spinner dolphins were scaring the flying fish out of the water.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
No, they were little, actually.
Yeah, they're pretty
I've seen
small.
some in off of Newport that are like almost a foot, like 12 inches. They're pretty big.
Yeah.
And they can
the
go
ones
far.
The ones me and you used to see, Slater, I think over in Southern California, they're pretty immense. But I have seen like little ones, but like I thought it was a dragonfly out at sea.
Yeah.
That's how small these ones are.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
So are they the same? I mean, are they the same?
Or are they just juveniles?
I'm not sure. I'm not really
Their
sure.
way all the way to Catalina.
Yeah. I know there's different.
Island?
Yeah. I've seen smaller flying fish with like really neat looking, pec fins. They're like almost colorful, but I'm not sure the different species of them.
Oh, have you seen those videos of the is it giant trevally that chase them?
Yeah.
Yeah, giant.
They also eat the birds too.
Totally was. Yeah.
Crazy.
The shearwater?
Yeah, and it was a tern, the video we watched.
Yeah.
Amber hadn't heard of an alua, and I was just talking about him with one of my captains the other day, and so I showed her this video from like BBC where it like eats the terns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the tiger sharks are doing the same.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to know about lua if you live in Hawaii. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. It's one of the fish that all the locals like to go for.
Eric, I think the most scary part of my job so far is the fear of diving a mooring ball and seeing a tiger shark.
Yeah, you're bound to see one. You guys are in the water so much. So what's the story about you guys on these?
That did not help Amber at all.
That was not reassuring. Why'd you do that?
You're in Hawaii, dude. That's like Tiger Shark Central.
That's not good. We're not. You're not gonna guarantee a tiger shark sighting.
Dude, your first week there to shut down the beach in front of your house. So it's like.
No, we didn't even know. We went snorkeling, and lo and behold, the beach was shut down all day.
So what kind of mooring are they using? Why are you guys diving down to it? It's not a floating mooring? What's the...
No, they're like 10 feet under the surface or so. I would say the most is probably, 13, 15 feet?
Yeah.
How come the lines don't float?
Yeah, what's up?
It's intentional so that private boaters don't use them.
Really?
Yeah,
What if the big boat comes and their draft is too deep and they go over it?
They're set on purpose by the county for the tour boats.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because all of ours are floating in the harbors. Like
there
normally.
are some floating ones, like off cam 1 and 2.
Yeah.
There are floating ones that private boaters can use, but they're like they intentionally sunk them so they'd be a deterrent from private boaters.
It kind of helps to see which way the current is going too.
So there's like a chain floating on, like, obviously, if it's just something that's semi-buoyant and floats up, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's like, it's a mooring ball, and then it has a rope attached to it.
The line's laying on the bottom?
Not exactly. So, like, it's anchored, like, maybe 30 or 40 feet, but then the mooring ball comes up to, like, 10 feet short of the surface, and then has a 10-foot-long tag line on it with a So you dive down and pick up the thimble and then take the rope from the boat and just tie it off.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So you have to jump in, grab the tagline, and then you can tie it at the surface. But some of them are actually like cinder blocks and rebar and then a tagline laying on the bottom because it's really shallow.
Yeah.
And our boats don't draw very much, like maybe 3 or 4 feet.
Okay.
So we go in, like, one of them's only, like, 12 feet. That's a rebar block one. And the tagline just lays on the bottom, so you have to go down and pick up the tagline, but it's only, like, 3 feet long, so it doesn't come up. So you have to take the rope down with you, feed it through underwater, and then come up to the surface and tie it off to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my guys, you guys are doing, like, full-on Baywatch stuff out there.
That's dude, we're ballers now.
Yep.
Can you imagine you had to do that in Monterey?
Hell no.
You have to get in a wetsuit every single morning.
I like look at some of my crew sometimes. I'm like, this is wild because the water's warm. They're just like, get in and do it. I'm like, this would never fly in Monterey. It is way too cold. We do not put people in the water. That's not a thing.
Yeah, the rules are more lenient because of the warm water here.
Yeah.
They're not lenient. They're just different.
Diving in.
Oh my god, my trainer. jumps head first off the bat when he's doing the mooring.
Without even climbing over the rail.
Yeah, he just launches from the deck over this 3.5 foot tall rail.
I would do that. I would be the guy that does a backflip every time.
He already had his fins on too. He's standing on the deck with his fins on and just freaking launches off.
Scuba Steve.
Meanwhile, I'm crawling over the rail on the catwalk to put my fins on, and I'm like, dude, what? Oh God, here we go. I'm not even ready.
Just send Alfredo over there. He would love that.
Yeah, he would love it.
Oh.
He would think it's so fun. He'd be like, please, let me do every single one. I will always tie the boat.
Hey guys, so how about land animals? So you sound like you guys have been there for quite a while.
Oh, the birds out here are amazing.
Yeah.
We've seen some deer, some axis deer.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a monk seal yet. I miss my pinnipeds. But
I saw one.
Yeah, Katlyn saw one the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were snorkeling down. Actually, you went snorkeling there 2 days later. We were snorkeling down in McKenna, and we were putting the surfboards out, and we were about to let the people in the water, and someone's like, is that a turtle? And we all turned, and we're like, oh my God, it's a monk seal. So we kept everyone on the boat. We didn't let them get in, because monk seals habituate to people really quickly. Mm-hmm. And it just did this big pass behind the boat, and it was big. It was female elephant seal size.
Really?
And yeah, and it just swam across the back of the boat, staring at us. And then it came up the side and dove and disappeared. And then after 10 minutes, we let people in.
Nice. You need to take Slater to go find one of those. That'd be cool to get some shots of that.
Yeah, there's one on the backside of Molokini that's becoming a nuisance right now, or in Molokini.
Yeah, it's
really
backside, and then it does come into Molokini, and apparently it's been ripping fins off of people's feet. It's
awesome.
bitten, I think 2 or 3 people at this point too.
Really?
It jumped on one of our coworkers' surfboards when she was lifeguarding. And so at that point, they just take everybody out of the water until he leaves, and then they can get back in. Yeah. But yeah, it's a big issue with those guys because they're so used to people since they're I can't even find the words right now. They're
habituated to people?
Yeah, they're habituating to people because a lot of them have been in captivity at some point, right? Is that...
Well, they said when they get too habituated, they just put it in captivity the rest of its life.
Oh, bummer.
Because they've tried to relocate them and it doesn't work.
There's one over here at Long Marine Lab.
There is?
Yeah, over in that inside that little lab they have that they used to have the bottlenose in.
I didn't know they had a monk seal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the bears. In Yellowstone, they do that. They'll get a bear that's it's been going to the same campsite over and over, and they'll move it somewhere so far in the park, and then it'll end up at another campsite. So then they ended up just taking it into basically a rehabilitation place, and they can't release it again because it's just getting too close to people.
Yeah. Well, that's the issue with monk seals is because they always end up going back to the same spot. If they try and relocate them, they'll be back there soon after.
They probably got a compass in their head.
They do.
Well, and they're smart, and they can dive really well, and they can swim really well, so it's heck yeah, I know I'm getting fed over here, or why wouldn't I?
So people are hand feeding them?
Sometimes, but also
what, sandwiches?
Just having social interaction too, because they're not there's not a lot of them, so I don't know what their social relationships are like, but.
Are they seen on all the Hawaiian Islands, or?
Technically, yeah, but I think some places are better than others. I think there's
Is there more on Hawaii?
They see a lot in the Northwest Hawaiian Islands. There's 400 or something. There's not very many.
Really?
Are they endangered?
Yeah.
Oh, is this the only place that has them?
Yeah. So there's only 2 places left in the world that have monk seals: the Mediterranean and Hawaii. They used to have them in the Caribbean, and I think maybe one other place. But fisheries interaction and habituation to humans has always been their biggest issues.
Mm-hmm.
So
why is that though?
I don't know.
Is it just because they're really smart, or is it because they've interacted with humans for rehabilitation because they are endangered and humans are trying to breed them to get the population up?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I think maybe because they're in such a tropical place and there's not a lot of other mammals that come on shore, humans just can't help themselves.
Yeah.
And then they're like not really afraid. Like they don't really have a lot of predators other than like tiger sharks. So like they're not really afraid of anything. Like harbor seals, a flippin' squirrel will flush them off the beach. But like a monk seal will just lay there. Like they don't. You could walk right up to it and pet it, and I think it wouldn't even do anything.
So humans are ruining something once again?
Yeah, because there's no. Well, okay. So the better way to say this is there's no terrestrial predator of the monk seal. So they're not afraid of people. Like harbor seals, like mountain lions eat them.
Yeah.
Oh man, we still got to see that.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm still.
almost every
Really?
year. Yeah.
Yeah, they like
What?
they find carcasses like across the street and stuff.
Yeah, up in the ice plant by the fence and yeah.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Eric
personally
and I
saw.
talked about it.
Yeah. I personally saw the carcass in the ice plant. Yeah, they brought it up. It's very nuts.
You know right where the fence ends and it's like a shorter post?
Mhm.
Don't be trespassing, dude.
No. It's illegal to
I thought
put.
that's where he was going.
I am going there. If you put a what's it
Trail
called?
cam.
Trail cam?
Yeah, trail cam there, but it's illegal to put it on state property. So we have to like Google some stuff and ask someone. But if we can get approved for that, that'd be kind of cool. They don't even like you looking over the fence. The people oh my
Don't
gosh.
hold your phone over the fence or your camera.
The naturalists, I just swallowed my gum. The naturalists that like watch the seals. Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh my gosh, they're really nice.
They
they're-
really care about harbor seals.
Yeah, they're like if you like I like put my camera above the fence to take a picture of them, and she's like no, and I was like about to bring a ladder so I could stand above the fence. Like you know what I mean? You're shooting through a metal chain link fence, so it's kind of hard. And they get pretty serious about it.
Do they have trail cams out?
No.
They have
No.
like spotting scopes.
Mm.
But
I think we
it
should just-
happens at night.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
we're going to trail cam. It's like infrared or whatever. Black.
We should just camp out one night. We'll just park over there, and just like with night vision or something, and just like
Oh, wow.
wait.
If you did it every single day between April and May,
Exactly.
you're
For
bound
sure.
for it to happen.
Yeah.
But what if it's like 4 a.m. and it's right?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you're
are
like-
you not gonna sleep all of April?
you give up.
That's
You
why you got
give up
recruit
2
people.
minutes, it runs. You just get the tail end of it running away with harbor seal, and you can't ever catch it. And you're like, no. That's
We'll have
what would happen.
rotations. Yeah, we'll have like 4 people, and we'll have sleeping rotations, like 2 people sleep, or and then
Drink
2 people
on a
up.
stakeout.
Yeah.
We'll drink banging energy drinks.
Okay, Trevor Wallace.
There's that bench. Yeah, that's right there, over there, but between the 2
We should
roofers.
just ask John Pierce if we can just like camp out in his window because he can see the whole thing from his house across the street.
Oh god, that's awesome.
He'd probably be okay with it.
Yeah.
Maybe he's seen it. Oh, we should ask.
I doubt he's seen. He's just chilling in his window at 3:44 a.m.
Dude, you don't know. I would if I was him.
No, you
There
wouldn't
are-
go to bed at like 7. This is the latest you
Yeah,
stay
and then
up.
I get up at 3:44 a.m. to
There
go.
are RPG residents who've seen mountain lions, yeah, in their front yards. So yeah, it's bound to
Pacific
happen.
Grove residents.
Yeah.
Let me tell
Yeah.
you something.
Yeah,
I woke up at like 3:45 today because I'm on Hawaiian time.
You're on mainland time.
Oh yeah, I'm on regular time.
When are you
Okay.
coming back?
Never.
He's not. He
Oh,
just moved
right.
here.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to get Margot to buy tickets for that like February so that I can stay until then, and then she'll meet me here.
Okay.
I didn't know that was the plan. You
I-
have to
I
pay
leave-
rent, bro.
I leave Sunday. Hey,
Okay.
I cooked you guys food today,
You did.
but you bought the food.
Yeah. So Amber and Pete was here, by the way. Amber and Pete and I went on a whale watch, and then they came on the stargazing cruise I worked. So maybe Amber can tell us a little bit about the stargazing cruise because I was working the whole time, so I listened to all of it. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the stargazing. I forgot what her name was.
Harriet.
Harriet. She's lovely. Yes, please. I don't know how to describe this woman. But
Nerdy.
yeah, she's very nerdy. The only thing I really got out of it was the testicular navigation.
What?
You weren't ready for that.
No.
So she was saying that apparently Native Hawaiians would use their testicles in some way. Wasn't clear if they dipped them into the water or if they just used how like they move. It's just inappropriate.
No, it's fine. They talk about things all the time.
Okay, cool.
They love
So, or if they just use spread their legs and see how their testicles swing to figure out where the current and how the boat is moving and if they're close to land. That was the only thing I got out of this whole experience.
Did you see stars?
Yeah, we saw a lot of stars. Oh, the one cool thing though that I also took out besides testicles is it the Seven Sisters?
Yeah.
So the Seven Sisters, it's
called Pleiades.
Pleiades potentially. That is younger. It's what, 50
million years old.
50 million years old. And sea turtles, modern sea turtles, are older than the Seven Sisters because sea turtles, what is it, 60?
Their DNA has been the same the last 60 million years.
Their DNA has been the same the last 60 million years. So the Seven Sisters is younger than sea turtles.
Prove that 60 million year old turtles.
Pixar didn't happen.
Their fossil record. It's their fossil record.
I know that, but how do you know
DNA.
how do you know they haven't changed at all?
Their DNA, their mitochondrial. Okay.
they
Science,
do,
Slater.
isotopes?
Are you ready for this?
Listen up, dude.
No, their mitochondrial DNA has not had any major changes in the last 60 million years, based on fossil.
Me. Oh dang! When was the Eocene?
Wait. Oh wait, what's happening? We're unplugging things. Sorry if you couldn't hear all that. Hi.
Your mic cut out or something, guys.
Yeah, sorry. Could you hear what I said about the DNA and the fossils?
Yeah, it's back now.
Okay, good.
Anyways, she was saying, what I'm saying is, when is the Eocene? Is that like 100 million?
Dude, I don't know. Now I gotta Google it.
Dang it! I just want to know if the turtles were around with my boy
Basilosaurus.
Pakicetus or Basilosaurus.
Pakicetus.
All of them. Any of them.
The Eocene was 56 to 33.9 million years ago. So
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow, these turtles, not these ones, but like their cousins or their ancestors literally were looking at freaking like the walrus whales or whatever.
Yeah.
How big do you think the turtles were though back then?
What, you think they were micro turtles?
No, I bet they're massive.
What?
Well, they had like those other turtles that were like older, further back in geologic time that were like freaking huge.
What? Were they bigger than? Because the whales were all small. Like those things were.
They were like twice the size of leatherbacks. Like
Wow.
crazy big.
How do you?
Yeah.
I'm still mind blown about the coral. 4,000 years. It literally grows like a centimeter per like 500 years. Like what the heck is that about?
It's a centimeter a year.
Still, dude, that's like same thing.
And they're just filter feeding off of marine snow.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get Eric on something. Hey, Eric.
Uh-huh.
How do the deep sea corals feed without light?
I don't know. Are they like just feeding off of marine snow?
I hate you. Why you gotta? That's exactly what they're feeding off. But
Okay.
they also eat this thing called a zooxanthellae.
No, they don't
No.
eat it.
Dang
No,
it,
no.
they lick it.
Symbiotic. Okay. So to set the record straight for people listening to this, the real science part.
They don't eat it?
Shallow water corals have a symbiotic relationship with the algae called zooxanthellae.
It's in their flesh.
So they're just
It's
homies.
a plant that lives
Yes.
inside them.
Oh. Well, the polyps is what eat.
And then
Yeah.
shallow water coral do have polyps that like try and catch food at nighttime, but they're not very good at it.
So then, what do those ones have? Because
Polyps. Yeah, deep sea
Oh.
corals also have polyps, but they only use their polyps to feed.
But we're not really sure how deep. Because the zooxanthellae is what gives shallow water corals the color. So the zooxanthellae give the shallow water corals their color. So we're not really sure how the deep water corals get their color, but a lot of them are like pinks and oranges and reds.
you know what they eat?
What?
Zooxanthellae jelly.
Oh my god.
He hit us with that one in the car earlier. Well, he said he eats zooxanthellae jelly, and I said, no, you don't.
You don't know.
On his bagel.
That's funny. Oh god.
So here's the thing about marine snow, though. So now that like microplastics are becoming a component of marine snow, like we're just gonna coat these deep sea corals in like a death mask, basically. You know,
Wait,
like they're gonna be covered in things they
Plastic,
can't inject.
Yeah.
because the snow just settles on them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the snow now?
Yeah.
How crazy is it? It actually looks like snow.
It's just white dust floating in the water.
Still looks like snow.
It does. You're not
It
wrong.
actually looks like snow in the nighttime.
Oh God.
Eric and
Slater, coral expert.
Just another Slaterism. We should add that to the book.
I know.
I'm honestly kind of giving up on whales.
You're all about
I'm
He
gonna-
wants
I'm
to
gonna-
see black coral.
I want to look at trees that sit there and don't move for 4,000 years.
I just like how he asked me this question, like, how'd you know that?
Yeah, how do you know about the marine
Yeah,
snow?
he was upset.
Hey, you know what I did learn though?
You're like,
That they think that the whales are feeding, like the whale fall. You know, it lasts like 100 years. It's feeding things down there.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it the same amount of time that the whale was alive? That's how
Yeah.
long it can feed
Yeah.
organisms down there.
Isn't that crazy? So eventually something's gonna eat all the bone and like everything.
Yeah,
huh?
there's
the-
like worms and
the
stuff.
snot worms. Is that
Yeah.
what they're called?
Yeah.
Nose-eating snot worms.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have the ratfish on there. They have all sorts.
Hagfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those what are those?
Crabs.
The what's that? The devil, the octopus that's kind of weird looking.
Vampire.
Dumbo?
The vampire. Is it the
Oh.
vampire one or is
Or
it
the
another
I
one?
think it's the Dumbo octopus.
The Dumbo
Oh,
octopus, yeah. Has the little ears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whale falls are pretty important. In fact, the Aquarium of the Pacific is one of the only places that actually has a exhibit just based strictly on the whale fall. They actually have a
Isn't
replica.
Monterey gonna do a deep sea one though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still in the works. It's going to be taking place downstairs in the rotating exhibit. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
You know what would be a cool exhibit? I'd hate to do this, but like it would be cool to actually take a dead gray whale and leave it in an exhibit with all those animals and you watch them just feed on it.
We have to
Yeah.
pressurize it.
Whatever, science. They got it.
True.
But they tried.
They'll have footage of it, I'm sure.
I mean, I think they're getting better at it, but they tried to display those Dumbo octopus and they couldn't quite get the pressure conditions right, so they didn't last very long on exhibit.
Yeah. They gave up. They had that when Tentacles first opened. I remember they had that vampire squid or something. I forgot what it was. And yeah, I think they
What the heck?
gave
They
up.
just net that thing out of the bottom of Monterey?
Yeah, they use
No.
a collecting device from the ROV.
Yeah, ROV got
Little-
it. Yeah.
They have like a suction tube.
How
thing.
big are those things actually?
Well, that one they had was like literally like just inches big. I'm not sure about the full size.
But they're pretty big, right? They get like a couple feet or something.
Vampire squid? I don't think they get that big. I think they're kind of like market squid.
Oh, I'm
Really?
thinking of the vampire octopus. That thing's crazy.
Oh, the one with the like
Like,
crazy
yeah.
skin between each.
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
It's like webbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, did you see Emma? Oh no, that was Eric. But you
Yeah,
saw
I missed
other Eric.
Emma. I missed Emma, but yeah, they had Emma. I had this 2 days ago. I had the CA-39s. They were hunting sea lions, and we had some big surges out here, big swells the last few days. So there's a lot of kelp patties floating around, and sea lions were hiding in them. And yeah, CA-39s were actually like going through them, trying to flush out the sea lions. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
I feel like I saw the 39s. Is there a male in there?
There's no mature male in there, at least. They all are either female or youngsters.
Who else did you see? What else have you seen the last few weeks?
Plenty of humpback whales. It's just an amazing fall. Plenty of humpback whales and the
Northern
humpback
white
whales-
dolphins?
Today I had northern white whale dolphins. Yeah, we had the Rizzos, and then today Pacific white-side dolphins and northern right whale dolphins. Haven't seen them in quite a while, but
There's so many
Everything's-
whales in Monterey.
yeah, everything's been pretty good here for fall. It's like
I've been
one of the best falls I've ever had.
so okay. I was listening to the
I'm moving
hydrophone
back.
the night before you saw the killer whales, and I
Mhm.
could have swore I heard killer whales on the hydrophone.
You probably did. Yeah, they were there.
I was like falling asleep, so I like couldn't really get all the way paying attention, but I was like, that humpback sounds like a killer whale. And then it like kept doing the same like traveling call that I've heard him do before when I've recorded him on the hydrophone. And I kind of just fell asleep like, huh, weird. And then the next day you saw them, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta talk about this on the podcast.
yeah.
And then I've been hearing the dolphins at night too, the white sides
Yeah.
and the northern right whale dolphins.
Yeah, the hydrophone's been great, but yeah, been a great fall. The humpback. I mean, it's almost Christmas, and I mean, we're still seeing humpbacks in double digits, easily found.
I think they're gonna stay.
Yeah.
What, the humpbacks?
Yeah, I think you're gonna watch humpbacks all winter.
Yeah, because we didn't have a crazy summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're hoping for grays. I was looking back at like Facebook posts, and me and Slater were at like Big Sur a year ago, like last week, already looking at gray whales, but we haven't had a good look at a gray whale. So
we haven't gone down to Big Sur either. I don't even think we can get to that spot.
Yeah.
I think we can. I think it's open right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, where have the humpbacks been inside the bay? Like, have you been in gray whale territory watching humpbacks, or have you been out of the?
Yeah, we actually have been. I mean, the other day, Rod took us over to the weather buoy, and we were kind of in the gray whale, the southbound area where they cross the bay, and yeah, didn't see a gray, but there are plenty of humpbacks out there.
They'll show up soon.
Yeah.
Well, they might be. I mean, they were late last year. Like, you guys, this was the skunk week last year.
Yeah, but the humpbacks have been outside, and so yeah, I've been hoping to find a gray cross. Hasn't been anything inside. We haven't done that. Hang out on the beach thing.
So today on the boat, the naturalist was talking about, like, people were asking why they come here and breed the humpbacks, and obviously one of the main reasons was that there's not any predators here. Really, the killer whales aren't here as much. And then obviously the water's warm, so it's easier on the calves. But then it was like, okay, but why do they come right here in the middle? And it's really shallow, right? What's crazy is that it's like, they said it's like 14,000 feet just on the other side, on the outside of the islands. So it's like this big, like, just like a bathtub though for these humpbacks. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, interesting.
But like, why'd they choose here?
History, man. I think culture plays a big part in migration, and no scientist is willing to say it. I think it's like, this is the agreed meeting spot that we always come to, and it was more necessary in the past, but we still do it because this is where everybody's going to be. Like, this is the place.
Yeah, I think they definitely do too. I think like the whole mom thing too. We a lot of us think that the whales are learning exact migration routes and feeding grounds from mom and stuff like that. So that's why there's some areas that have been monitored better, seeing 4 generations of animals show up.
Yeah, like Jeffrey's
exact
Ledge
location
and stuff, and Stellwagen Bank. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 generations, which has us beat, because here in Monterey we only got maybe 2 at the best. Like Fran, for example, her mom, Big Fin.
Yeah.
Seen out here, but yeah, there's some places that can show you family lineage of 4 generations.
So how old are those whales?
Like on Stellwagen, like salt has been documented really well since the early 70s.
Oh wow!
And
So at least
she's 40.
40 to 50, yeah.
Yeah, and she has great grandchildren that come back to the same area.
So
Stellwagen.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's funny because we estimate, right, that humpbacks are like 75 to 80. They live like 75 to 80 years, right? It's something like that. But the thing is we still haven't even, like, now that we're documenting, we're finally gonna like see how long a humpback lives.
Well, I'm interested to see if anyone at Barcelona comes up with a good talk or presentation about getting better genetic testing, because they're like looking at like telomere degradation and like some other things in their DNA to try and age them. And at the last Marine Mammal Conference, I think it was, in Halifax, they were using the North Atlantic whales because they're so well photo ID'd to like ground truth the method, and they still were like the margin of error was like 10 plus years off. But I think they've been working on it ever since, so hopefully 2 years later they've got some better data, because you might be able to biopsy them and age them.
I got something. Oh, never mind, that's dumb. I was gonna say, what if they take an earwax from a fresh one, and then they take one?
You can't take earwax out of
You don't know
living
that.
whale. Although the earwax, like, I guess it can be an inaccurate.
Put one of those funnels and you light it.
It can be an inaccurate measure. Like, it can be missing some years of record. Especially if the extraction's not done.
So now they're going away from the earwax stuff.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's still a tool, but it still like has its own high level of error. So.
Yeah, there's a number of ways. There was one with the female reproductive system on certain whales that there's some type of scarring or something occurs in one of the organs that they can actually get a guesstimate of age to, and obviously that means you can only age females. I forgot exactly what it was showing up on the organs, but
I wonder if the females live longer than the females live longer than the males.
in the baleen whales usually, yeah.
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 I'm also
baleen too itself can actually be used to age these whales too, supposedly.
Yeah, but it grows pretty quick, so it's not their full lifespan.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know in the future what the postmenopausal baleen whale situation is. Like with odontocetes, like grandma, even though she's not reproductively viable anymore, like still leads the pod because she's like the cultural like guide of the family. But like with baleen whales, once they are no longer able to reproduce, do they just die, or like do they still like hang out and do stuff and like keep living? Like, is their life after?
Well, at least you probably know better, isn't it? Like with supposedly with like gray whales, supposedly the females are not hitting menopause. Like they just can, as long as food's there and they're healthy, they can keep on producing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about it.
Yeah. Okay. Think about Scarback.
I mean, yeah. But
she's only 80s. Never mind. Never mind. She's not that old.
She's old, but she's not that old. She's probably as old as Salt, and Salt showed up with a calf not that long ago, like last year or the year before.
Well, there's killer whales that are 50 years old.
Yeah, but killer whales definitely have been documented. Like after they are no longer able to reproduce, they still live for a long time. So I don't know about baleen whales.
What is it like, Granny? They think is like between 80 and like 100 and like 10.
109 or something.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, something funny like that. They don't know because they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, the numbers for her are outrageous. What's official now with age with SRKWs? There's one that's older than Ocean Sun, I want to say, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know the oldest one, but I bet I could find out.
Call Sarah.
Well, phone a friend.
Yeah. Can I phone a friend? Ooh, we should do a whale. What's that? How to be not a millionaire? Follow whales
like
around.
Like a trivia game, and then you can like phone a friend or use a lifeline.
Yeah. Like how to be a millionaire would be how to be like a whaleionaire.
The ultimate Whalenerds challenge.
So when can odontocetes not have kids anymore?
I think it depends on the species, but like killer whales reproduce into their late 40s at least, if not a little bit longer. But then they could live, like fish eaters could live another like 30 years. So
they only might live another 30 years. No, I think there's I don't know if I talked about it, but the last number they come up with, I think it's 2050.
Oh, for extinction.
For extinction for the southern residents.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I feel it's not funny, but I feel like there's a lot of things that are supposed to like die off in 2050 for some reason.
That's a turning point for this planet. Yeah, we got to figure it out now before we get there. For sure.
Like I didn't even know we had to worry about these deep corals. I'm just kidding.
Oh, the girl that gave the presentation, Nissa, she had a good analogy. So like bottom dragging is like the equivalent of like logging an old growth forest, but at the bottom of the ocean. Because like when you bottom trawl, your bycatch is like all these hundreds and hundreds of years old corals, if not thousands of years old corals. Wow. And like they're just gone. Like you just freaking plowed the whole seafloor right there, and they already are widely dispersed because that's just the nature of the deep sea. And then they took hundreds, if not over 1,000 years to grow, and you just ripped them up and threw them in the trash. Do you think like they don't do anything with them? Some of them they make jewelry out of, but like they don't really do anything with them.
Do you think that they grow really slow because of the pressure?
I think also because of food availability.
Whoa, did I? Thought I just came up with something. I thought I had something.
It's a hostile environment and food is scarce, so they grow slow.
Exactly.
Cold.
Yeah,
it's very cold.
Yeah, what is it? -4 Celsius?
No, 4 Celsius.
4 Celsius.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. -4 Celsius, it'd be frozen. It'd be a nice cube down there.
Hey, it could happen. I'm surprised it's not warm down there.
What?
You don't know.
There's no sunlight.
Yeah, but by those vents, It can be. There's
Well,
warm
yeah,
water.
by the
Yeah.
vents it's warm, but it's not like that's the whole
Hey,
ocean.
I'm just
But
saying
the current is so
it's
strong down there too, and it's sinking from cold like Arctic areas.
Yeah.
or it's really close to the center of the earth and it's getting warmer.
No, dude, the crust is way too thick.
Dude, I've been to Iceland.
The crust on your sandwich is too
And they
thick.
have some of the hottest water rolling through the middle of it, okay?
'Cause they're on their ridge.
No, they're between the tectonic plates.
Yes, where the plate is split open.
The water's supposedly that's like one of the clearest waters in the world.
That's pretty
In
cool.
Iceland?
Yeah, between the tectonic plates. It's like super warm. I got in and I seriously was gonna throw up. I had to get out.
It was too warm?
Yeah, Margot was swimming like a boss, and the Icelandic girl and I both like were like no, and the dad was just like doing breaststrokes, like he was chilling. Yeah. All right, well, we just whale nerded it up.
Yeah, man.
Yes, we did. I just happened to get a whole bunch of emails. And I looked at them. It's actually Marmam emails. A lot of
I'm sure about the conference.
job posting and opportunities. So if you guys, especially for our younger listeners, yeah, wow. Actually, these might be more advanced jobs. I guess Soundwatch is looking for a program coordinator.
Send that to me.
That's in San Juan Island.
Yeah, and then also Virginia Aquarium needs people for their sea turtle and marine mammal stranding team for fellowships and internships. So that might be good for some of our younger people.
Fellowship. You just their friend?
It's usually a paid. Isn't fellowship usually paid?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's like an experiential job. It's meant to be a temporary stepping stone into your next like big move in your career, but it is usually a paid opportunity.
The word internship scares me.
Why?
Cause like, how do you live when you go somewhere? You know what I mean?
It's rough.
Like you're like, yeah, I'm gonna take an internship. And you're
I
like,
moved to Monterey and like basically my bank account almost went to zero, and then I started getting paid. I'm like, oh good.
But like internships, like how many times do you hear people? They're like, oh, I started with an internship, and then they're like bosses now. You know what I mean? So like, you really got to do that.
If you can make it work, you should. You know, it's a good opportunity.
Like especially if it's in your area, right? And then you can live at home with your parents and then do that. If you're just in college and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially with marine bio, marine science in this field, it's so competitive. You know, it's pretty much mandatory that you volunteer or intern somewhere just to get your foot in the door, get your name out there. We all did it, I think, right?
Yeah.
Not Slater.
I cheated. So it was Amber's first time on our podcast. We're definitely gonna have her come back on the podcast before the end of the Maui season.
Yeah, we'll have to do like here's your preseason podcast.
Yeah.
Pre, mid, and
Like
post.
she's basically seen like 10 whales so far here and a couple fish. So and some turtles. So we'll have to see what her side. I mean.
Oh wait, before we go, we saw Nene.
Oh, the nene.
It's not a whale or a dolphin.
Okay, but it's an endemic
exciting.
Hawaiian species that Amber saw.
I think I almost
And I
hit
almost
one
cried.
today.
You did not.
I swear there was one on the road today.
No.
Yes, there was one on the road.
Nene. They're not that stupid.
Okay,
Okay, stop.
Someone literally said that. No, it's a sign. It says, "Watch out." There's a sign or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they are pretty dumb, actually. They will just walk into the middle of
They're not pelicans. So anyways, it'll be cool to hear from Amber because it's her first season working on the water.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to hear all the things she sees. And I think like you never know. False killer whales do come through here. It's just really rare.
Yeah.
They do see them, so you never know. Throughout your season, you could see some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah,
I hope you guys see.
I want to see a whale shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will
And
Shark
they-
would be
and-
awesome.
You saw the manta rays as well?
No, I didn't.
Oh, dang. Caitlin's seen a bunch here.
She is.
Where the heck you been?
The monk seals, the mantas.
Oh, Katlyn, have you seen the leatherback sea turtle yet?
Shut up.
Yeah.
I
dude,
saw a manta ray in the harbor, so take that.
I literally hit her with that last night. I said, do leatherbacks come here ever? And she's like, sometimes. And I was like, but I said, have you seen one yet? All right. Well, Caitlin's still out there searching for leatherbacks, and then Amber's looking for whales now.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to our podcast as per usual. We always appreciate it.
Adam got mad at me yesterday on the phone. He's like, dude, so where's the podcast been? Like, I was like, I'm sorry.
We're trying. Thank you for sticking with us. And we're still working out the Patreon posting. You can't upload a direct file, so now we got to make you a private YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's coming. It's coming. So if you want to hop on and support us on Patreon, you'll be able to see our Skype episodes and the funny faces we make at each other. If not, just follow us on Instagram.
Eric reads books and stuff during the podcast.
or holds up things to make you guys laugh.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Whalenerds, and thanks for being on our
podcast.
At Whalenerds.
No,
Yeah.
the.
At the Whalenerds. At Whalenerds, and thank you, Amber, for joining us.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'll see you guys back mid-season.
Yeah, I hope you have a great season.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye, Eric.
Bye.